Hi viewers, welcome you once again to Micro Learning. This is Shailaja. So today we are going to see the continuation of lesson number 4, consumption function and investment function. That is, we are going to see from 4.4 to 4.4.6. So today's topic is going to be on multiplier. So when we think about multiplier, what should come into your mind? Multiplying. How can you multiply the income of the country? It is only by investment. The higher your investment, higher is going to be the national income. So now we are going to see what is a multiplier and how do we calculate this multiplier and what is the formula. Now first let us see who has developed this multiplier. This multiplier has been developed first by R.F. Khan. Okay, that is in employment he has mentioned about it, but after that it was redefined by the great economist J.M. Keynes, modern economist. So what does he say? What is multiplier? It is a ratio of change in national income to investment. So how much of investment is keeping on increasing, that to that level your national income keeps on increasing. So we have a formula for multiplier. K is equal to change in Y by change in I. So K represents multiplier. Change in Y tells you income. Income changes according to the investment. So Y results from I. Okay, that is what I told you earlier. So if anyone asks you what is multiplier formula, K is equal to change in Y by change in I. Now let us see about assumptions of multiplier. Every time a concept is being coined in economics, there is an assumption. Okay, there is an assumption. This may happen, that may happen. Now this is the procedure you are supposed to follow. All these things. So multiplier also has a certain assumptions. So let us look at the assumption. First one, there is saying there is change in autonomous investment. Okay, there is a change in the autonomous investment. What do you mean by autonomous investment? Autonomous investment is supposed to be the investment that is done from the past savings. So there is no induced investment. Induced investment is nothing but it is not having a planned investment. Okay. Third one says the marginal propensity to consume is supposed to be constant. That is, MPC is supposed to be constant. But if you think MPC cannot be always constant, it keeps on changing. Fourth one says consumption is a function of current income. So your consumption is dependent upon your income. There is no time lag in the multiplier process. And consumption function are variable in response to effective demand for them. So if the consumer goods are keeping on increasing, that shows that there is a effective demand in the market. And there is a closed economy. What do you mean by closed economy? Not much government interference over there. And there is no change in prices at all. Okay, all these are not possible, but they have given assumption as such. So next one is, we are going to see the marginal propensity to consume and how it is related to multiplier. So MPC and multiplier. MPC and multiplier has a relationship. Okay, let us see what is the relationship that it is having. Now, this propensity to consume, that is marginal propensity to consume, is supposed to be a portion of the income that is spent for consumption. Okay, so marginal propensity consume has a formula which says MPC is equal to change in C by change in Y. So previously we have seen regarding average propensity to consume, marginal propensity to consume, average propensity to save, marginal propensity to save. So here marginal propensity to consume is, the formula is change in C by change in Y. Okay, so next one we are going to see about the equation. MPC is nothing but change in C by change in Y. So what did we see in multiplier? K is equal to, yes, I think you are guessing it right. It is nothing but change in y by change in I. So what is MPC formula? Change in C by change in Y. Just look at I wanted you to recall this formula. That's why I have written it here. Okay. So next one we are going to see what is the value of the multiplier. It depends upon MPC. So what is the value of multiplier? K is equal to 1 divided by 1 minus MPC. This is a 1 mark question for you. So remember, you should know what is multiplier formula. So what is a multiplier tells you? The multiplier is supposed to be the reciprocal. Okay. What is a reciprocal? 1 minus 1 divided by 1 minus MPC. Okay. So here you have multiplier is 1 divided by MPS, savings also, because after consumption the rest comes as a savings. So reciprocal of MPS. So multiplier is inversely related to MPS and directly related to MPC. Okay, so inversely, that is directly, inversely related to MPS and directly related to MPC. So now let us see how will you the value of the MPCs. So the first one we are going to see is, now what is MPC? MPC is nothing but they have given 0.75. So what is MPS? 0.25, and they have given the value of multiplier as K. Now how did we derive at K, and how did we say that K is supposed to be 4? So you have used a formula, K is equal to 1 divided by 1 minus MPC. So here you can see they have divided that. When they divided that, they have got into the value as 4. So next we are going to see one small tabulation column. In this tabulation column, they have given MPC. Okay. Now we are going to derive at MPS. From MPS we are going to derive at K. So from these values you are going to derive to these values. So MPC, from the value of MPC you are going to derive at MPS. How will you do it? For example, the first one, 1 divided by 1 minus 0.00. So when you minus that, what do you get? 1 divided by 1, which is equal to 1. So did you get this answer now? Yes. Same way everything we are supposed to do. All the MPC. Second one you take 1 divided by 1 minus MPC. So 1 divided by 1 minus 0.10. Okay. So which is equal to 0.90. Okay. You can do it in calculator, children. So you will get the second one. Same way everything you can work out and see. You will be getting the answers for it. So what is the formula that you are supposed to keep in mind to derive at MPS? It is nothing but 1 divided by 1 minus MPC. Okay, so you will get MPS. Now from MPS you are going to derive at K. How do you derive MPC? 1 divided by MPS is supposed to be the formula. So 1 divided by 1, which is equal to 1. So have you got the answer over here? 1. Same way this number has to be done. 1 divided by 0.90. You will be getting 1.11. You will be able to get. So you will be getting this derivation. Okay. Like this you can work out everything. But remember the formula. The formula for MPC to derive at MPS, you have to do 1 divided by 1 minus MPC. And from MPS to K, what we are supposed to do? 1 divided by MPS. Okay, so you will be able to get the answers for it. Now the next one is you have a calculation. Okay, they have given C is equal to 100 plus 0.8y and they have given I investment as 100 over here. Now we are going to use a formula. Okay, now what is a formula? Y is equal to C plus I. So y is equal to C. Already C is given over here. C is what? C is supposed to be 100 plus 0.8y. Okay, so now plus this I has to be added over here. So I is already given as 100. So you put it as 100. Okay, now what you have to do? This is, we'll take it as 1y. Okay, since there is no place, I'll just erase it out. You bring this 0.8 towards this side, minus 0.8y, which is equal to 100, this 100 and this 100 together, it is 200. Okay, so when you minus these two, you arrive at 0.2y, which is equal to 200, which is equal to 200. So now you get this as, which is equal to 200. Now you put the y over there, divided 200. Okay, you have to bring this over here, where you get y is equal to 1000. Okay, so remember the formula. Remember the formula when you work it out. Okay, so that will be easier for you to understand. Always C formula is this. So y is equal to C plus I. So we have to find out what is the income, what is the investment as such. So now you can see 0.2y, which is equal to 200. So y becomes 1000 as such. Now here we have again changing the equation. Okay, so where S is equal to 100, which is equal to 1. So now the investment from 100. Here we have seen investment is 100. Now again the investment has increased by 10. Okay, so what is your investment? Already it is 100 here. Here 10 is there, so it becomes 110. So when it becomes 110, again you have to use the formula and apply the formula and then do the sum. So again we have used C is equal to, this C is equal to 100 plus 0.8y is being brought here, this 110, because this is the 10 investment has increased, that is 10 crores. From 100 crores again we have increased to 10 more crores, so which has increased to 110 crores. So again you add these two together, you get 210. Here you bring it as, because 1y is equal to 0.8y, which is equal to 0.2y. So you get your income as 1050. So previously we have got 1000. Okay, income was 1000, and now you can see investment the income is supposed to be 1050. How much was the investment done? The investment was done only 10, but we have got returns as 50. This is how we calculate. So the final answer for it. Now diagram explanation. You can see, can you see this line 45 degrees angle? This is supposed to be C is equal to S. Now what does it imply? Okay, what is this implying about? Okay, this implies that about the axis, how they are equal to each other at this 45 degrees line. So MPC is nothing but, it is assumed as 0.8, where C is equal to 100 plus 0.8y. So what is happening to the aggregate demand? The aggregate demand is denoted by C plus I. Okay, so 45 degrees line point is supposed to be E, and the original national income is, they have given it as 500. Again, when you calculate 100 plus 0.8y, okay, this y is supposed to be 500. When you calculate it, you will be able to get your answer. The same way which I showed you previously, same way if you calculate, you will be able to get your the same answers that we saw in the previous slide as such. So now what is positive and negative multiplier? Positive multiplier is nothing but the initial increase. Okay, the initial increase that is leading to a greater real GDP. There is a tremendous increase in the GDP, that we call it as positive multiplier. But what do we mean by negative multiplier? That is an initial increase, okay, in increase which gives a greater final decrease it is happening. You put an initial increase, but there is a great final decrease in the GDP as such. This we call it as a negative multiplier. So we have classifications of multiplier. So the multiplier is being classified into static and dynamic. What do you mean by static? Okay, where you have otherwise known as simultaneous multiplier, timeless multiplier, or we call it as logical multiplier. So under static multiplier, what happens? There is a change in the investment, and what happens? That automatically changes the income. Simultaneously it keeps on changing. Okay, there is no time lag at all. Okay, and there is also no change in MPC. So the economy is moving in the equilibrium position. Okay, so it is so static means it is going in an equilibrium position. So next, let's see what is dynamic multiplier. The dynamic multiplier is also called as sequence multiplier. So this is an objective question. So in real life, what happened? Income level does not change with the initial in the investment. So there is a time lag between increase in income and consumption expenditure. There is a gap because there is a change, dynamic change. Dynamic means it keeps on changing. So what happens? These are supposed to be the two different classifications of multiplier. So those who are watching the channel for the first time, please share, subscribe and comment it. Thank you very much.